London is not just the capital of England and the United Kingdom. It is one of the rare cities whose influence is felt almost everywhere, in finance, politics, education, media, culture, tourism, sport, and transport. In 2024, London had a population of about 9.1 million people, while its wider metropolitan area reached more than 15 million, making it the largest metropolitan area in Western Europe. But London's importance is not explained by size alone. Many larger cities exist around the world. What makes London unusual is how many different roles it plays at once: national capital, global financial hub, cultural powerhouse, university city, tourist magnet, and historic symbol. To understand London, you have to see it as layers built over nearly 2,000 years, beginning on the River Thames and expanding into one of the world's most connected urban centers. The story begins with geography. London stands on the River Thames in southeast England, near the head of a long tidal estuary that leads toward the North Sea. This location mattered enormously. Rivers were the highways of the ancient and medieval world, and the Thames gave London access to inland England while also linking it to maritime trade routes. The river could carry goods, people, armies, ideas, and wealth. Being close enough to the sea for trade, but far enough inland for defense and administration, gave London a strategic advantage. Over time, bridges, docks, warehouses, markets, and roads gathered around the river. The Thames did not simply pass through London, it shaped London's economy, its layout, and its identity. Even today, many of the city's most recognizable views are organized around the river. London's ancient core was founded by the Romans as Londinium. This settlement became a commercial and administrative center, and its legacy still survives in the City of London, the small historic district that remains the city's financial heart. The City of London is unusual because it has retained medieval boundaries even as the wider metropolis expanded far beyond it. This means that modern London contains an ancient city within a city, a compact area with its own traditions, institutions, and identity, surrounded by a much larger urban region. The Roman and medieval past is not just a museum piece. It still affects the map, the street patterns, the concentration of financial institutions, and the way London understands itself as both old and modern at the same time. Just west of the City of London is Westminster, another center of power but with a very different role. While the city became associated with commerce and finance, Westminster became the seat of national government, monarchy, and parliament. For centuries, the institutions that shaped Britain's laws, empire, diplomacy, and public life were concentrated here. Westminster Abbey, the Palace of Westminster, and nearby government buildings turned this area into a political landscape. This separation between the financial city and the governing Westminster helped define London's character. Power in London was never located in just one place. It developed through a relationship between money, monarchy, law, religion, and administration. The result was a capital city with multiple centers, each carrying a different kind of authority. London grew dramatically in the 19th century, during the age of industrialization and empire. At one point, it became the largest city in the world. This growth transformed the meaning of the name London itself. Originally, London could refer more narrowly to the historic City of London. But as surrounding towns, villages, docks, suburbs, factories, and railway districts merged into one vast urban area, the name came to describe the whole metropolis. Historically, this expanding city spread across parts of Middlesex, Essex, Surrey, Kent, and Hertfordshire. In 1965, the modern administrative idea of Greater London took shape, governed through 33 local authorities and the Greater London Authority. So London is not one simple unit. It is a collection of boroughs, neighborhoods, histories, and local identities held together by a shared metropolitan system. Today, London is often described as a global city, and that phrase has a specific meaning. A global city is not just famous, it helps organize international activity. London influences world finance, law, art, architecture, entertainment, education, science, technology, tourism, transport, and communications. It is one of the world's major financial centers and has Europe's largest city economy. Decisions made in London can affect markets, companies, governments, and cultural industries far beyond Britain. This is partly because London connects local and global systems. It has banks, insurers, media companies, universities, law firms, creative industries, airports, galleries, hospitals, and research centers all operating at international scale. Few cities combine so many forms of influence in one place. Education is one of London's greatest but sometimes less visible strengths. The city hosts Europe's largest concentration of higher education institutions, with more than 50 universities and colleges collectively enrolling over 500,000 students in 2023. This makes London not only a place where people work and visit, but also a place where hundreds of thousands come to study, research, and build careers. Its academic institutions attract students from Britain and from around the world, adding to the city's international character. Universities also feed London's wider economy. They support medicine, technology, design, public policy, finance, the arts, and scientific research. In a city already known for power and wealth, education helps renew London's influence generation after generation. London's population is one of the most diverse in Europe. More than 300 languages are spoken across the city, reflecting centuries of migration, trade, empire, refuge, and opportunity. By 2025, Greater London's population was just over 9.8 million, accounting for more than 13% of the United Kingdom's population and more than 15% of England's population. The wider metropolitan area approached 15 million people, making London a megacity. But diversity in London is not only a statistic. It is visible in food, music, neighborhoods, faith communities, markets, schools, festivals, and everyday street life. The city's identity has been shaped by people arriving from across Britain, Europe, the Caribbean, South Asia, Africa, the Middle East, and many other regions. London is also a city of landmarks, and these landmarks tell different parts of its story. The Tower of London evokes monarchy, imprisonment, defense, and royal ceremony. Westminster Abbey connects the city to coronations, national memory, and religious history. Buckingham Palace represents the modern monarchy, while St. Paul's Cathedral stands as a symbol of endurance in architecture. Tower Bridge captures the engineering ambition of the late 19th century, and the London Eye shows how modern tourism reshaped the skyline. Piccadilly Circus and Trafalgar Square function as public stages, gathering points, and visual icons. These landmarks matter because they make London instantly recognizable, but they are more than postcard images. They are markers of power, ceremony, movement, empire, faith, and public life. Culture is another reason London has global reach. The city has the most museums, art galleries, libraries, and cultural venues in the United Kingdom. Institutions such as the British Museum, the National Gallery, the Natural History Museum, Tate Modern, and the British Library attract millions of visitors and researchers. London's West End theatres make it one of the world's great centres of live performance. This cultural strength works on multiple levels. Tourists come to see famous collections and shows. Scholars come to study rare books, art, science, and history. Artists and performers come to build careers. Local residents use these spaces as part of everyday civic life. London's culture is therefore not a single tradition, but a constantly changing mixture of preservation, performance, debate, and reinvention. Moving through London has always been a central challenge, and the city's transport systems are part of its global reputation. The London Underground is the world's oldest rapid transit system, a reminder that London had to solve the problems of mass urban movement earlier than most cities. As the city expanded, underground railways, buses, suburban trains, bridges, roads, and airports became essential to holding the metropolis together. London also has the world's busiest city airport system, linking it to destinations across Europe and the globe. This connectivity supports tourism, business, diplomacy, education, and migration. It also reveals the complexity of a city that is both historic and intensely modern. London's scale only works because millions of movements happen every day. Sport gives London another layer of international visibility. Wembley Stadium hosts the FA Cup Final, one of English football's great annual events. Wimbledon is one of the world's most prestigious tennis championships, combining elite sport with deep tradition. The London Marathon turns the city itself into a sporting stage, carrying runners past landmarks and through neighborhoods. London also holds a unique Olympic distinction. It became the first city to host 3 Summer Olympic Games, in 1908, 1948, and 2012. Each Games reflected a different era: imperial confidence, post-war recovery, and modern global spectacle. Through sport, London becomes not just a place people visit, but a stage watched by the world. So what is London, really? It is a Roman foundation, a medieval financial district, a royal and parliamentary capital, a Victorian megacity, a global marketplace, a university hub, a cultural archive, a transport machine, and one of the most diverse urban societies in Europe. Its power comes from accumulation. Each era added something: roads and walls, churches and palaces, docks and banks, railways and suburbs, museums and theaters, universities and airports. London's challenge is also its strength. It is too large, layered, and complex to be reduced to one image. The city works because it contains many Londons at once. That is why it remains not only the capital of a country, but one of the defining cities of the modern world. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.